Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, your bro Nate, right? Today we're going to be reacting to what if you met a time traveler. If I met a time traveler, one, I would have a bunch of questions, and then two, I would say what happened in the year 3018, and three, I would say did did COVID last forever? And then four, I would say was there ever aliens? Five, I would say who's the first person to go on Mars or something like that. Anyway, let's start the video. What if you met a time traveler?
In 1998, a gentleman by the name of John Titor arrived from the future, or so he said. In his timeline, as he claimed, General Electric had managed to invent time travel in the year 2034.
Time travel in the year 2034. Dang, it would be amazing if they actually did that. I'd be terrified and I would be happy at the same exact time.
He even showed and described his time-traveling device in great detail. And then, Titor vanished, as abruptly as he appeared. Did he finish his mission? Or was he real at all? How could we know?
Back to the Future stuff. Wait, Back to the Future, Back to the Past. Oh, Back to the Future. Why did they call it Back to the Future if they were... What? It should be, say, going to the future, you know? It shouldn't be called Back to the Future.
If we were able to prove that someone has traveled from a different time, it would be very cool for science. Although it might overwrite Albert Einstein's theory of relativity. Einstein approached time as a fourth dimension. Space is a three.
He approached it as a fourth dimension. What does that mean? He went... I know Albert Einstein did not never go in time travel. He never time traveled, but he just had the calculations of it, I guess. I don't know.
Three-dimensional spectrum that provides us with length, width, and height. Time offers direction. Together, they form a space-time continuum, and it can be affected by gravity. According to Einstein's theory of relativity, gravity is a curve in space-time. And technically, because space and time are one, gravity could bend time as well as space.
Gravity could bend time as well as space? Bro, what is this logic stuff? I'm looking at the comments on that video though. Dang it. Travelers came and met Hawkins but told them to keep this a secret and they had a huge party together. What the heck?
But you'd need something really, really big to notice any changes in the movement of time. If you somehow managed to get yourself close to a black hole like Sagittarius A, you'd be experiencing time at half speed compared to people on Earth.
That black hole looks like Saturn, don't it? That's like it looks exactly like Saturn, but it's more see-through. That's weird. It's basically like see-through. I don't know if anyone ever seen a black hole before. I know I haven't. I don't really want to.
This is because Sagittarius A packs a mass of 4 million suns into an indefinitely dense point, creating a very strong gravitational field around it. Another way to travel in time is to move really fast. The closer you get to the speed of light, the slower time passes for you. If you were a passenger on a train that's
Dang, bro, so all you gotta do is just go outside and run it and you'll be time traveling faster than any other person. All you gotta do is just run outside. I mean, it's easy to do that, but I don't think time stops if one person's world runs. I don't think it's like that, but
somehow could travel at 99% of the speed of light, for every year you spent on the train, 223 years would have passed back at the station. That would make you a time traveler into the future. But what about traveling back in time, just like John Titor said he did? Titor claimed that this little machine is what made time travel possible.
That little machine is what made time travel possible? Wait, I'm still looking at the comments. Maybe time can only move forward and never backwards. Then I was fine, I'll do it myself. My alarm rang at 6 a.m. I woke up and closed my eyes for a second, then I am opening my eyes at 10 a.m. Time travel. What? Oh yeah, that is true. You do time travel when you sleep. It's crazy.
In any direction. The C-204, as he called it, allowed him to manipulate gravity with the help of two microsingularities that were packed inside. It also had gravity sensors to lock the machine and time traveler in a fixed place in space. Titor had this machine.
So look, someone the time traveler in space, that means he would never get out of space. That means the man would have probably died because he could never go back in the past, because when you time travel, it can only go forward and not backwards. Am I right? Anyway, let's look at another comment. Theory: when you have deja vu, someone changed the past, but the thing you're seeing a deja vu of still stayed the same, and you're living it through for the second or third or more time. Who knows? For real though, because I have like deja vu like every day, bro. It's just like the same every day.
Installed in a car, pretty much like the good old time-traveling DeLorean did. But it would only take him as far as 60 years from his time. How would you know that Titor was actually traveling in time and not just making it up? Proving that someone really is a time traveler might be even harder than time travel itself.
Dang, it might even be harder than time traveler itself. What do they mean by that? I mean, imagine John Titor watching this video as a kid, getting inspired by it, and eventually making a time machine. Dang, but that would be crazy. And plus, who is Titor? Is that man from Back to the Future? I don't know.
Time travelers could make predictions about the future, show their futuristic technology, or even undergo some genetic testing to support their story. Maybe the best way to prove time travel is real would be to take you with them on their next adventure.
Yo, I would love to go with someone in time travel. I would love to not be in this present right now, because this present, not a bunch of good stuff going on, you know? I have to bring like one friend with me, and that's gonna be my friend Kevin. Shout out to Cadency. Cadency, shout out to him, bro. Shout out to him. Anyway, yeah.
Of course, there are easier ways to prove the possibility of time travel. In 2009, the world-famous theoretical physicist Stephen Hawking threw a party. Not just any party, but one to which only future time travelers were invited. Hawking didn't send off invitations until after the party. He believed that if travelers from the future arrived before the invitation was released, that would prove that time travel will become possible one day.
What? So he sent out invitation before the party, after the party ended. That's crazy. So what if they actually went to his house? Ooh. Imagine, wait, I've been a time traveler all my life. It's a slow process though. It took me 52 years to arrive here from 1969. That's funny, bro.
He sat there, waiting for hours, but nobody showed up. That doesn't mean time travel is impossible. There is a chance that time travelers from the future will learn to use wormholes or bridges in space-time. We haven't seen one of those yet, but the theory of general relativity predicts that they exist.
I could tell you for a fact I'm a time traveler. I time traveled 20 years back in the future. Like, there's gonna be aliens invading in 2.5 years. No, I'm playing. I don't know nothing about time travel. I don't know nothing about the future. So, only time travelers do.
The biggest problem with wormholes is that they're microscopic and collapse too quickly for a human traveler to go through. But maybe the reason nobody attended Hawking's party is that time traveling might not be that precise. Maybe the guests from the future did arrive, but they were too late for the party. Or maybe going back in time is strictly prohibited for time travelers, because if they do, they might change their timeline completely.
For real, and then if you change one thing in the past, in the future, it'll just like mess up everything. Like, if John Cena was never alive, like, it would mess up the whole world. No one would know who John Cena was. No one would know if there even was a John Cena. You can't see me because you can't see him because he wasn't even alive. Alright? He would not even... Anyway.
Perhaps they're just trying to avoid the risk of spreading any diseases from the far future onto us. Or maybe the information about time traveling is so highly classified that only a few people would be trusted with it.
Ooh, I know if someone gave me a time traveling device, I would hide it under my pillow or something. I would not let no one have it. I would hide it. I would not even let no one know I had it. And then I would change the future. I'll go back in time and then I will give someone money if I ever became rich and stuff. Yeah.
Maybe traveling back into time isn't possible after all. Maybe time can only move forward and never backwards. Maybe John Titor was one big lie. We have a few more years until 2034 to find out. In a way, we are...
Yep, a way few more years, like, so many years, bro. And if he was lying, he'd be a dead man. I'm playing, I don't know if he'll be a dead man. Someone might not even pick up his body. Who knows?
already have time travelers in our lifetime. Astronauts on the International Space Station are moving at 8 kilometers per second. This makes them age slower, although the difference is measured in hundredths of a second. But if you're listening, you're invited to a reception for time travelers.
For real, like, astronauts are probably the closest time travelers there would be, because they're in space, right? And in space, time traveling is different, I guess. Time traveling is possible in space, is all I'm saying.
Hosted by Stephen Hawking. The party will take place at the University of Cambridge, United Kingdom, on June 28th, 2009. No RSVP required. And hey, if you have a chance to jump in a spaceship and enjoy the time-traveling effects of a black hole, do it. Just make sure not to fall into that gravitational monster. But that's a story.
I wonder if people ever like time travel though. Like, that would be crazy to do. That would be so awesome. Like, I will not forget that day. Anyway, I hope y'all enjoy, like, and subscribe. You already know, hit that post notification button and bell.